So I'm going to hop into the platform now, and we can start building some smart blocks, deploying some slots, and using some marketing rules. So you'll see I'm in the demo store right now. It's got everything ski and snowboard in here. So this is the thing that you'll often see us using in these sort of sessions. So everyone's probably very familiar with them by now. A few things that I like to sort of signpost people to at the beginning is the question mark up in the top left. It will highlight the page you're on and give you some really, really helpful information, including the tactics library, which is one of our favorite things in customer success that Daisy has put together. And essentially what it has is different tactics that we find work really, really well with simple how-to articles on exactly how you can implement them. So well worth a look. We also have some how-to videos here. They'll change for every single different area of the platform that you're in and make them relevant for what you're looking at. They're really, really easy to follow, and you'll be able to start to implement things by watching those. Finally, if there's ever any circumstance where you need to sort of chat to someone with a bit of technical knowledge, then our support team are on hand to help you out. They'll try and get back to you as quick as they can, and they're absolutely brilliant. So then, where are we going to find our smart blocks? We're going to go to the left-hand side of the screen, and then we're going to click on Smart Blocks. Now, in our account here in freshrelevance, there's going to be a lot that's sort of already made. What we can do is we can add some on the filtering on the preview page. We can also start to sort of filter what we can see on the existing smart blocks. So something that not everyone knows about, but we can see the active smart blocks. Those are the ones with any impressions on your website over the last 30 days, I believe. The inactive smart blocks, the ones that are still there but they're not running, and then the ones that have been archived. So maybe accidentally deleted ones, you will see them all in that archived bit there. So where are we going to go to create a new one? We're going to click on Create Smart Block here. Now we have two options here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the new smart block flow today. So this is something that we're very, very soon going to be having as our main way to make smart blocks. We have the old existing version down here. However, we're sort of migrating away from that in freshrelevance, and we've got a really, really nice new way to make them, which sort of all click through and really, really user friendly. So we will have a look at that now. Just be aware it is in beta. If there's sort of any issues that I run into, I'll make a note of them, but we're going to still be trying to iron some of those out. So let's click on Use New Version here. So we have first of all got the option to choose where we place the smart block. We've got either the website or in emails. Is there any preference from anyone of what we'd like to maybe do in this session?
I'd love emails.
Email.
Yeah, that would be
email.
Great.
I'd say that's a majority there. So let's go in for email. And then also we have a few options here. So we have our sort of our triggered emails. So our price drop, our back in stock, and our browser abandoned and cart abandoned emails. We also have our sort of business as usual emails. So you have our bulk emails and our newsletters as well that are options. Is there any preference around what we go with? All this stuff does is sort of, it's just tactics that we find work really, really well with these specific types of emails. So any preferences of what we go with?
I get, is there one that's like harder than the other? Is that a dumb question? Like maybe one that's more challenging?
No, they're all sort of equal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do price drop.
Price drop, cool. So this is one of our sort of add-on emails from our behavioral targeting module and our triggered emails module. So when a product drops in price, we can trigger an email and maybe want to add some recommendations to that. So what we could, what we found with a price drop email is these emails work particularly well for that. So we can see here we've got our custom, which is essentially where we can make it all ourselves with different data sources. We have a person's recently carted or browsed, which is pretty self-explanatory. It'll show that recently carted or browsed. We have a person's current cart, where we'll dynamically bring in what a person's got in their current cart. We'll show popular products. These are your crowdsourced products that your customers find really, really useful. We have popular products matching a person's price affinity, which was exactly the same. However, what we're doing is using the price affinity predictor to guess what product banding someone might be in. So we're using things like the device type, the operating system, that sort of thing, to work out exactly what a price affinity someone might be in. We have people like you purchase AI, which uses our AI recommendations to suggest products that someone might like to purchase. Then finally, we have our new products. So these are the products that we've just seen are brand new to your site. And we can bring those into a smart block as well. So any preference over what we go with our tactics? These are all customizable later on, but these are some tactics that we might like to use. Preferences?
Popular products matching person's price affinity.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah,
does
this
anyone
one works really
anything
nice.
else?
Yeah, this one we find it's really, really nice as well for our sort of customers that are brand new to your site, and we don't have a lot of information on them, but we can make some really, really good guesses of their sort of what they've got in their device and their operating system, things like that. And then finally, we have our detailed product recommendations or our multi-column recommendations. We can also have professional services make you some a layout, or something that's recently been launched in the content tab. We have layouts down here where you can make your own layouts as well, if you know how to do HTML and things like that. So I think we'll go with multi-column. It seems to be the most popular with everyone that we see, and we can just give it a name and get building. We can proceed. Cool. So then we greeted with this screen here. So on the left-hand side, we have all the navigation options around tailoring the smart block and starting to do the changes to it that we want to. And on the right-hand side, we have a preview as well. We can also toggle the preview to see exactly what it will look like for our people on mobile as well. So then, first of all, we have our design tab. This will be everything to do with the look and feel of the smart block. For example, what we can do is we can decrease the number of columns, for example, so we can put that down to 2. And then you'll see we'll have this 2-column smart block approach. We can also change about things like the headline text. So when I go to headline, we see it currently says popular items. What I can do is I can change that up so it says things like, we think you might like. And then it goes ahead and changes it. We also have different options as well to change things like the call to action buttons. So we see the button down here. We can do things like, for example, buy now. So really, really simple change that we can make. We can also change things like the color and also the font. Something I found out recently was how many fonts we have available in Fresh Relevance. There's a spreadsheet here a PDF here with all of the different fonts. So you can see there's a fair amount on this page, and this document has 83 pages on it. So a lot of options there for you to use in Fresh for the amount of fonts that you want and getting it look exactly right for how you want it to be. We also have ratings and reviews and also social proof messaging down here. So I don't know if anyone on the call has social proof as part of their module package.
We do.
Cool. Anyone else have social proof?
Yeah, we use it as well.
Nice. Zuliana?
No, we don't.
Okay, cool. So just to let everyone sort of is aware of what social proof is, essentially it's this messaging here that we're seeing. So the 40 purchased today. And it's really, really powerful in Fresh Relevance, sort of trying to get a bit of more urgency to your customers to try and get them to purchase. So what we can maybe do is we can change about the wording. So we're saying here that it says minimum of 5 have been purchased today, but maybe what we want to do is say 5 minimum have gone, for example. So it adds a bit more punchiness to the message. We don't ever want to mislead customers. However, this is really, really nice. We can also change the thresholds. So maybe we don't want to show it to every single message. So maybe we'll have a minimum threshold on this of 42. And then always fall back to the next option down. So we can change this one about. So we'll have it at 75. And we can maybe change this one to say are going. So these are products that are in someone's cart. And we're going to be letting your customers know that they're all going. They're people are about to buy them. Finally, we have browsed. Maybe we can change this one to say are looking. And we can up this threshold to as high as we want it to be. So for example, we can have it at 250. But as you can see here, we're not showing any social proof on this pair of trousers here. So I think this is something that's really, really powerful in Fresh Relevance. Something that's really important is to maybe not show social proof on absolutely everything. When you have too much social proof, it makes it sort of watered down a tiny bit and sort of lose its punchiness. So that's something really, really important to consider on there. We also have a fallback option as well if you'd like it to have any fallbacks. We can also turn off the ratings and reviews by just simply toggling that off there.
I don't
So
think
now
I'm
we've got-
ever going to get bored of seeing this. I don't know, Patty, Lauren, whether you've done social proof in the old templates before and you've had to meddle with the code and play around in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we included it on product pages, and our director wanted it like right above the price. So that was a lot of fiddling with the code.
Nice. Well, there's, I think, yeah, about 140 different customization options for looking and feel of things. And the coding option is still there as well, as of this week. So you're hot off the press news there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that you can change those thresholds and turn things on and off with the toggles as well, you know, to add that social proof and to get it right, is going to be so much easier for you.
Big time. Yeah, I remember when I first started and trying to sort it out and nearly being in tears trying to work out how to do it, the code. It's a lot easier now with the whole design tab in the news flow. So definitely a good rendition to the platform. Next up, we have the properties tab, and essentially what we have here is the name as well as merge parameters. So what a merge parameter is where we're bringing something in from outside of the smart block. So it's something that could be on your website or something like that. So we're filtering in the site brand. So what we're going to be doing is considering the products that are with that specific site brand. So if anyone's not aware of what site brands are, is where we can start to change things up. So maybe we have one site brand for your US site, one site brand for your UK site, and there are different products for each. Or maybe you have different companies that do different things, and we can bring that in also with the site brand. We also have currency and language, which is pretty self-explanatory. It essentially will bring in the right currency and the right language for our different users. Down here, we also have something called tags. There are two different types of tags in Fresh Relevance, so there's sort of different ones, but the ones you see here are more for your organization purposes. So you can start to sort of make things a little bit more easy to find by adding a tag. So for example, I can add a tag saying this one is a recommendation. Or let's say you want to maybe have this one specific or a type of product. We can maybe add this one in just so you know what type of product the smart block is for. Next up, we have the redirects. And essentially all that's important here is the redirect URL. So essentially we've got this piece of ginger here where we're talking about what we're doing when someone clicks on the product. So this will redirect to the product as well as the campaign tracking down here. So we have an integration with Google Analytics. I don't know if anyone uses it, but what we can do is you can put in your UTM campaign source medium and get everything sent over to GA to analyze through there. You just put those fields in there and it will pass through. Any questions on that? No, anything to add, Daisy?
Nope.
Good. Next up, we have the most important tab for me. This is the data sources tab. And this is where we're going to be choosing what is actually going into this smart block. What is the data that's being driven in the smart block? So what we've got here, we've got, for example, people like you buy with our recommendations. We have purchase together. That works really, really well on, for example, PDP pages. This is a website smart block. But for an email smart block, some of the ones that I suggest maybe is something like similar products to the last abandoned browse. So we can be really, really personal to what the customer's recently looking for. Or, for example, we can add in things like dynamic. So this is where it's going to be personalized to one customer. So, for example, a customer's frequently browsed, what are the products they've recently been looking at on your website? We can also change. Yeah.
Sorry, just to hop in. It's worth mentioning that these options here are what that tactic selection led. So when we said that we wanted popular products with price affinity, it's setting up the right data sources for you and the fallbacks within it. So yeah, if you were doing a custom smart block, then this is where you can come and change your data sources. But if you're happy with that tactic, you sort of, I think we've just shown the top 10, is it? So if you're happy with those top 10, then really at this point you could go and start deploying it. These are for if you want to sort of get more granular and starting to sort of optimize and things like that. So yeah, you don't necessarily have to play with this if you just need to get something out quickly because you have got a BAU send that's going out later this afternoon. You know, come through, do the clicks that Will's shown you thus far, and then you can put that live straight away.
Yeah, thank you for that. Forgot to mention, yeah, this one, you don't have to change it if you've chosen a tactic, but it's sort of really nice if you want to start to personalize further or test and optimize with different data sources as well. We then also have the crowdsourced data window. So right here, for example, we're using frequently purchased, which is crowdsourced. So on this option, we're going to be choosing exactly what exactly what we're going to be, exactly what the crowdsource window is. So for example, if you're seeing a lot of traffic to your website, we can maybe go for something like 12 hours because it's going to be a lot of data behind it. However, maybe there's not much traffic to your website, so maybe go for something like 30 days. So it really depends how you want to take things with your crowdsourced data. Next up, we have the filtering tab. So what we've also, with this tactic we've brought in is this price affinity predictor here. So I'm not sure where I'm saying that. There it is. So we have the price affinity predictor, and essentially what that's doing is it's using different sources of data through what we captured on the script to personalize to your different customers. So we're looking at exactly what they are, who they are, and starting to make some really accurate and scarily accurate predictions around exactly the type of people that they are and what they might like to purchase, what's in their price thresholds. Daisy, is there any more light you can shed on that one?
The product field one.
The price affinity predictor.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so it's really great. I know we're talking about email for you, Lauren, but we've seen this particularly effective on home pages of websites. So I would think, just making a good guess, that any of those sorts of less targeted campaigns would be where this would be particularly effective, over sort of a more targeted campaign where you know more about a customer. Something like this would actually be really great in sort of a new customer campaign. So, you know, the people that you've not really seen a lot, they've only just joined your mailing list, maybe stumbled on your website for the first time recently. And that's where I think the price affinity is going to be the one for you.
Yeah, it's really nice ideas around that. What we can also do in Fresh is start to personalize smart blocks and make them exactly what you want. For example, we can maybe personalize it so it's only showing specific types of products. So we can drag in a product field here, for example, and we can use the tags. This is the second type of tag we have. The script on your website is picking up different breadcrumbs on your different products and it's bringing that all into Fresh Relevance. And it's going to be able to be personalized based on those tags. So, for example, Pistol Skin Snowboard, we're bringing in different brands, we're also bringing in different colors and different things like that. We also have the option of best tag value, where we have a tag group. So, for example, the tag groups that you see here are brand, so with the different brands, which are the tag values underneath. We have a tag group of color with the different tag values of color underneath. We also have genders, the tag group of gender with the different tag values underneath, and also the tag group of subcat with the different tag values underneath that. So that's a really nice way you can start to personalize. So for example, in this smart block, I only want to show a product within the brands Atomic, Amplify, and Burn. And what it will do is in the preview, it will only show the specific products within that. We do want to make sure we're not being too specific because, as you can see here, it's only going to be filtering in one product because that's the only one that matches. But we can start to personalize, and you'll know your product ranges really well to be able to start to personalize from that. Anything to add on that one, Daisy?
No, I think that's really nice. I guess if I'm trying to think about how you might use it, so Patty, I guess you've probably got a brand category, so for all of the different sort of cameras. So you could use the best tag value category filter to dynamically show someone's sort of preferred brand, because I imagine you've got pretty strong brand affinity with your products. So, you know, we can already say, oh, you've bought a Canon camera, so we know it's going to be Canon accessories and things with the right, I don't know, aperture. I feel like that's a photo word. So you can start to get in to those. Lauren, do you have any sort of affinities?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I can't. I think
No.
just light in general.
Yeah.
So where, for example, the best tag value might not be the one for you, but if you had something like style, that might be quite good. I know I've recently bought a house and I've found that I'm quite specific with my style already. So, you know, something like that could be something. And again, if you do have any data that we're not capturing and it's not in the system, just let us know and we can work with you to make sure we're getting that in the platform.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what that would be, just because we're working with electrical contractors. So I'm just trying to figure out what their affinity
Yeah.
be. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to do some creative thinking around that, because if it was a more residential website, I think that would be easier, because you could do like modern or traditional and then filter by that. It's just boxes of light for a lot of these electrical contractors that they care about. So that'd be a challenge for us.
Yeah, so for you, I'd perhaps suggest using the average product price rule. So that's looking at what sort of price ranges that customer tends to be looking at, and then suggesting it in within. You can do a custom percentage. I'll let Will demo it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, you know, if someone, because I imagine you've probably got quite a big range of price points from sort of the more boxy
Well, it's
new
like
builds.
lighting is like $500 a fixture, and then you can buy a light bulb for $9. So it's it varies widely there. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I haven't even messed with that at all. So I'd have to look at that.
Yeah, so see, it's filtering in different products. So, I've done on this one is I've made it so it's the current value, so it's within 15% of average value of what someone's purchased, and also with the option as well that if that shop hasn't purchased anything, we just ignore this filter as well. So there's no data on anyone. We can just completely ignore this. It's a really, really nice use case that we can work with on that one. So that's the filtering tab, so we can start to refine our smart block and really make it personal to exactly how we want it to be. On the advanced tab, we have a couple of options. So for example, we can sort it by certain things, or we can do something around reordering results. So we can filter and then shuffle within results. And we found a couple of clients really like this one, where we can start to make every smart block different. So every time that it refreshes, it looks completely different to a different customer. So that's really, really nice. Or what we could do is we can start to sort based on different things like price or the letter of the alphabet, for example. So we can go in alphabetical order. Finally, we also have location. So if there's any bricks and mortar stores, we can start to personalize based off that. We basically geocode it by the IP address, and we can find the closest location within a certain radius as well. But I won't cover too much of that one today. We also mentioned about the HTML. If anyone's sort of savvy with HTML or knows someone that is, we can click on this blue button in the top right. I'm clicking on it, but don't be scared by it. You don't have to go into this. But if someone that you know is comfortable working with HTML and CSS, you can click onto that there, and it will take you through to exactly where you need to go. We then can save and use a smart block and go ahead and deploy it into a slot. So we're going to choose where we put it. I'm going to put this one into an email slot. And then I want to create a brand new email slot for this. I'll press continue. And then with this new flow, it automatically will fill everything that we need in. So all of the merge parameters we need, it will automatically fill that in for us. I'm going to show this smart block to everyone, and then I'm going to press save. So then a few things that people might need. So that edit tab that we see was the one, the screen we just saw. So that screen around sort of what the name of the smart block is and who we show it to, whether in the control group or not. And on this use tab, this is where we can deploy it into those slots. So with the .digital, Lauren, you can go down to the bottom here and you can copy all of this to your clipboard. And then what you can do is you can go into your email templates within .digital and then go ahead and paste this HTML into the thing, and then it will bring through this slot to your email templates. Does that all make sense?
Well, it's worth just if you scroll down and just show that email merge. So the way that if you go up so we can see the code as well, thank you. So the way that our personalization works is that we need to know who's viewing a piece of content. So you'll see here that there's merge fields and we've got sort of the E value here. Now you might see a different value in that ESP field. Because Lauren, you'd need one that will work with dots. So I guess whatever that dynamic parameter in .digital is to insert an email address, that's what you want to see in that box. obviously the first time you do it, it's just worth double checking, and then it should sort of default. But it's always, just worth double checking in case you've got something a bit more bespoke set up on dot side.
Okay, I'll be sure to check that. Thank you.
Thanks for mentioning that one. It's something that's easily forgotten, as you can see, but really, really important as well that you do double check it. If there's any questions around that, feel free to reach out to our support team, and they can point you in the right direction. So we can go onto our rules tab. This one we can start to personalize this slot with the different smart blocks and start to personalize it based on different people. I might go on Daisy and start to do things around sort of different traffic as well that works well on web. Unfortunately, we're in an email slot right now, but we can sort of start to talk about some different tactics that we can do. For example, one that we really like talking about recently with all the weather in the UK is how we can personalize based off of the weather. So, for example, we can show different content to different people. And bearing in mind, this is completely up to date. So every single time someone looks at it, it'll be completely up to date what they're currently experiencing. It will update correctly. So, for example, we can filter in temperature and we can start to personalize on that. So, for example, if it is below 29 and let's say it's between 0 and 20, so it's sort of not too hot, we can start to personalize off that. But maybe there's some products we find work really, really well in your range in the sun. I'm trying to think of maybe some examples that we're seeing with anyone.
Lauren, I guess for you, perhaps in the hotter weather, pushing sort of outdoor lighting so that people can have that, or it could simply be the imagery that makes your products stand out as well. So, Lauren, having that sort of outdoor beach vibe versus like a cozier indoor. So that could be something that could work. Percy, I don't know whether there's different camera products that people need depending on the weather. Like, do you need certain screens if it's sunny or something like that?
Yeah, definitely camera protection, lens protection, anything to do with rain covers. So that would work. Anything to do with rain. If there was an option just for rain, that'd be great.
There is.
Raining? Great.
There is. So we can go to rules, we can drop down the weather, and I've dragged in that weather rule here, and we can do it based on different types of weather. So we've got snowing and we've got raining. So if it is raining,
Oh, yeah.
we can show different products for that. It's one that's really cool and also slightly scary that we can start to personalize that. And I'm wondering how many times I've looked at things and subconsciously bought them because of the conditions outside. It probably happens quite a lot, but yeah, we can do that based on the raining and the conditions outside.
The best example I've seen, I think it was from like a car parts seller, and they basically sent out an email, and if it was raining it would show you windscreen wipers, whereas if it was sunny it would show you sort of like those kids like blackout blinds and things in the car, and they had some absolutely astounding numbers. Would have saved my bacon yesterday when I got caught in the rain and my wiper blades are not there. So yeah, it's all about sort of using these rules to consider what are your customers' motivations and what might you want to show them differently as a result. So Susanna, I'm just thinking about you. So I guess if someone perhaps has bought a TV recently, then perhaps already that actually they're going to be more interested in sort of surround sound equipment, or sort of what are those products they would purchase next. So that might be a way that you'd want to personalize within these rules.
It's really interesting for me because if we're selling countrywide, let's say it's raining in Scotland and it's sunny in London, then the customers who are in Scotland where it's raining would get this email, right?
So it's the same email you're sending to everyone, but the recommendations or the content we're showing will change within it. So you've still got to send just the one email.
Sure, I understand.
But we can make sure we're being dynamic to those customers, either based on what we know about them in terms of their history or about their current situation. When we talk about web as well, we can start to look at where they are on the website and start to get into sort of that stage of their purchase journey. So it's super interesting what you can do in here.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's a
will I
nice
get too
example.
excited?
I know you do. It's slightly adorable, isn't it? But no, yeah, there's some nice examples there in the rules around weather. We can also do stuff around the time. So if there's any specific campaigns that you're running for different times of year, I know it's quite far away, but Black Friday is coming up. We can start to personalize based on the date ranges of that and start to get some specific products into our Black Friday promotions. We can go into here, drag in a date range, and we can have a custom range, and we can say if it's within the date range, we'll show this product to our customers down the S tree. So, for example, you know, if it's between the 28th of July and the 3rd of August, let's say there's a specific promotion happening then, we'll show that smart lock in there. So there's a nice example of another thing we can do in the personalization front. Are there any specific use cases anyone wants to sort of go over around personalizing in their email campaigns? Anything you want to do with the recommendation smart blocks? Any ideas for anyone?
Mine's not for email, it is for web page optimization, but we're looking at purchased after browsing. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do this week.
Okay, so is this one where you maybe want to show a pop-up? What would you like to do with it after someone's been browsing?
So I think we like to show so we tinkered with the actual code so it's more fitting to our website, and we made the multiple columns into a carousel that you can like scroll across if you wanted to. And we use it for popular products, but we want to include it also at the bottom, but for recommended products, which are the ones like crowdsourced data of what other customers have bought after viewing a specific camera. So for example, what accessories they got, because we're trying to improve attachment. So maybe they got an SD card or a specific bracket for the camera and anything like that, and then it would hopefully help boost some order values.
Okay. Sure. Daisy, you've probably got more experience with different use cases like this.
I think it's one of the
Yeah.
default tactics. So if you go through, but because we weren't looking at web, it wasn't in the list that we saw a minute ago.
Let's go back in. Let's make a new one.
So it's going to, see, you don't even need me. And then it's purchased after viewing products on page. That's the one.
So it's just
So you will see that we've got some more templates as well. So Patty, we've actually got a popover we've got a carousel in here as well. Yeah, far right, fresh off the press this morning. It's like they knew we were going to show you. So if you did want to use this new flow, then actually the hard work should already be done for you.
Nice.
so yeah, that one should all be automatically possible. And then also it'll be a case of getting the template looking right for the brand. But feel free to have a chat to the account manager if you want maybe professional services to have a look at the HTML on there, making it looking right for Panasonic. Or is it? No, it's Wex, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
I get
cool.
confused.
We did the Cody bit for it, so it looks the way we want it to look. But yeah, I think our data was a little bit messy, which could have been our fault because it showed some things that like we're fairly sure, confident, in fact, that nobody purchased that after viewing this camera. So yeah, we're trying to fix that, which I think the support team already helped us with. So I just want to make it now.
Well, it might be worth just showing the product report and how you can see what our different AI sources would select.
Yeah. So we can go into reports and reports. And then we can go down to system data just here, and it will be products. And this basically has a report of all of the products that is known to the system. So we can have a search up here of where we can look for all of the different products we like. Or what we can do is we can just click on, so for example, let's say this jacket is what we're looking at.
It's worth noting that this is actually going to change soon. So this is going to hold a lot more data and a lot more power in the next few weeks. So especially if you're a bit of a data nerd like me, keep an eye out.
Cool. And we can see some various stuff here. So we've got the unit price and the unit value, just how much the product is worth, and then the unit value. It does differ, the unit price and the unit value. If you want to do some personalization around that, generally I would say go with the unit value because that one's the one that works the best. We also have stock level, so if it's being exposed in the script, exposed to the script, we can pick up the stock level, and also we have all the tags. So this is what we talked about earlier around personalization. The tags down here. Down here, this is all of the different AI sources and exactly what our AI is thinking with it. So for example, here we have purchased with this product. This is how many times that something's been purchased with this product, and we can see all of that data for us. We will see purchased after browsing this product, and these are all of these predictions down here. We also have the price affinity predictor. So this one has been classed as a medium. The price affinity predictor comes in 3 bands of high, medium, and low. And so the price affinity predictors put this one into medium for us. And finally, we also have the AI similar products. This is what our AI has determined that it is a similar product to based on a few different things. The product team, unfortunately, don't tell us too much because they know Daisy and me like to blab to everyone about everything. And we get told off. So we don't really know too much about how the tech behind it works. However, what we think it does is it uses things like the colors, things like the text, and different things like that, and the branding to determine exactly how similar it is to the different stuff. Anything to add on this one, Daisy?
Only that there are some extra settings that you can play about with. They're probably not worth showing you now, but if you do find that you have got data that's not exactly what you're expecting, then do just drop a note to either us or our support team, and they'll take a look and they can advise what bits you might want to tweak. So it might be that there's certain tags like sale tags that are being considered to make a product similar, which really isn't something that we want to be part of that decision making process. So yeah, just like as Patty was saying, if you are getting any erroneous sort of results, then just let us know and we'll take a look for you. Because what all of these different mechanisms are doing for you is increasing the personalization, but in a really automated and scalable way. Because these smart blocks and recommendations we're looking at, we can reuse those across multiple campaigns. You can have them in your life cycle campaigns, and you can just keep putting the same code in your emails. You might want to change stuff depending on how you want to report, of course. But there's nothing wrong with basically putting one block in all of your emails, and there's enough automation tools that means that the same person wouldn't see the same things each time. So yeah, it's really exciting to get that going. The only other thing I was thinking, Will, is those recommendation pages might be nice to share.
Recommendation pages?
I will pop the link in the chat. So we've worked on some documents recently about all the different touch points for both website and BAU emails, and we can share these links with you after the session. But if you scroll down, Will, there's some guidance there as well in terms of how are you going to decide where to start. If you're looking at either web or email, or even if you're looking at both, there's so many touch points, different tactics, but this is really great for helping you figure out where should you start, where are you going to see the most ROI. And then when you know where to start, if you could scroll down, Will. Thank you. There's lots of different touch points and different configurations we might recommend. There's also some considerations as well. So, for example, depending on where you're putting it, the homepage, great for the price affinity predictor, but probably isn't as powerful in sort of your more hyper-personalized loyalty campaigns. So it guides you a little bit in terms of thinking what you might want to use where. or if nothing else, it just tells you all the amazing different things we can do. So yeah, we'll share those after the session, but they're really great resources to take a little look through.
Let me also one for email as well. I don't actually know about these, so I will give them a good read after this session as well. But yeah, we'll include the link to both of them after this in our follow-up. Cool. We have 9 minutes. Is anything pressing that anyone else wanted to cover in the session?
I will happily talk about my favorite topic for 5 minutes, and that's optimizing content.
Go ahead. Let's do it.
It's my favorite. So a lot of the time we'll get content set up, but really testing and optimizing it is where a lot of the value comes from. And hopefully just by some of the data sources and tactics and filters we've shown you today, we've probably shown you at best 10% of what's available there. There is so much. And the only way really to know that you're doing the best you can is to start optimizing it. So it happens in the slots. It's available to everyone. So just on your core platform, you'll be able to A/B test content. This is very strange, Will. I like the demonstration. So you simply drag one piece of content on top of another, click on the header, and then on the left here, you can see that you can split test. So this will then show 50-50 or alternate percentages to different customers. And then you can actually analyze those results separately. If you want to take it a step further, we do have a new optimization module, which is all about automatic optimization. So none of that setting up tests and then comparing the data and putting the winner in, it just does it all for you. I won't spend too long talking about that, but if you are looking to optimize your content without having to spend time doing it, then have a chat to your account managers, because it's really amazing what we've got going on. Just like the multi-arm bandit octopus.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm kind of sad that it's going to be soon. The name's going to be changed on Multi-Arm Bandit, but you know, it's still a really, really cool piece of functionality that's available. So definitely have a chat with your account manager. It saves a hell of a lot of time as well for different people. That's the one thing that people are scared of with optimizing. It takes a lot of time, and also you have to wait to analyze the results to then start to put in those implementations. With Multi-Arm Bandit, you don't. Definitely, you know, Daisy and I will be the first people to say that we're the worst salespeople in the world. You know, we don't ever sell. That's why we love customer success. But it's one of those where it sort of sells itself. So yeah, definitely try and have a chat with your account manager if you're really interested in that. So yeah, if there's nothing anyone else wants to cover, I'm sure that no one will complain about having 6 minutes back of their day. Unless there's anything else that you want to talk about, Daisy?
Not for me.
Patty, Susanna, Lauren, anything else?
No.
No, nothing on my end. I'm just curious how often you do these. Are these monthly or these pretty regular sessions that you have?
Well, they used to be every fortnight, but now we're moving into every single week. So yeah, we're really going up. I can show you exactly the sign up page.
Yeah.
So we have the Fresh Relevance sign up page here. And as you can see, we have sessions running soon to be every week. The only exception will be when either both Daisy and I are off. Then we won't be running one. So yeah, we will be moving into every single week.
Okay, awesome. That's great.
Sign up to all of them.
Feel free. Spend some time with us. We love to see different customers every single week. So yeah, feel free to come along to as many as you'd like. And there's also this box down here. So if there's anything specific you want to cover in the session, let us know in this box, and we can sort of go through it in the session and cover it in a bit more detail.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, there's nothing else anyone else wants to cover. Then I think we will leave it there. So thank you so much to everyone for joining, and we will speak to you very soon.
Thank you so much.
Have a great rest of your day.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.